I've been stewing on this one for a couple days.
Okay.
I've actually been thinking about it for a few weeks. It's probably been about a month-long issue. Yeah. But I watch a lot of YouTube. Do you watch a lot of YouTube?
Yeah, that's all I watch.
That's like mostly where I get all of my information, other than like Facebook Reels, and that's just a bunch of goofy nonsense. But I watch a lot of YouTube, and it just seems like, I really like watching body cam footage. I like watching like maybe some like creepypasta stuff, or stuff that's out there, right? Yeah. And it just seems like more and more and more, every video is sounding like a ChatGPT script.
I mean, like, of it. Oh, so just AI slop.
Yeah, just AI shit, and it's just it's like every description has like the following like 3 things. It's like, well, in the event of doing this person saved this, did this, and coordinated this. And it's like,
I don't think I've heard that. That might be your algorithm.
It's just the way things are saying, the way the voice is saying things, and I'm not even sure it's a real voice 90% of the time anymore. It just feels like it's overly produced. Just like you asked ChatGPT to give me a script and then read it verbatim.
Boom, it's good to go. Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like anybody's really reporting on anything in these videos or saying anything of. It just doesn't feel like it's a human talking to me. It doesn't feel like it's somebody actually experiencing this. It's just some AI telling me how it is.
Well, chances are it's not, though. That's the thing. Like, the AI slap, I think last year that was like the phrase or terminology of the year.
Yeah.
Was literally or maybe it was like Google's most search. It was something along those lines. It got some award, but it was AI slop. That was the...
Yeah, that's what they refer to it nowadays. Yeah. And I mean, it's becoming so prevalent. It's like, damn, if you...
I'm kind of wondering why we're not doing it.
It makes me not want to watch these channels anymore. Like, because I do like the stuff they're talking about, and I like the stuff that is being said, the information that's presented. I just don't like that it's not being presented. It almost
naturally.
Yeah, it almost feels like it goes straight from the person's concept into the AI, and all we get is the AI
I was gonna say
version of it.
I think it goes from like a presentation, which would be more of a natural thing. There's gonna be mess ups or what have you. To like an instruction video. You know how instruction, like work videos, when they're teaching you how to come into work, it's very robotic.
Yeah.
Like, when you lift, make sure it's very like precise, to the point, boring as hell. And I think that's what AI is kind of doing, making everything instruction.
Well, it's just making everything sound the exact same.
Yeah.
Like, once again, it's not somebody telling me about this story anymore, more than it's just the AI rendition of what happened, and it's just telling me. It's not like it just doesn't feel. Content, it just doesn't feel
about
real,
time,
and it kind of blows.
It's very long. I've committed.
And I've been noticing that a lot in the videos lately, and it's just been kind of really disappointing for me.
Yeah, here's where I'll chime in. I really like cryptozoology and a lot of like creepy stuff, a lot like you. And yeah, it's completely that now. It's
hard to listen to.
I'm finally getting used to it.
The honest to God issue with it, and I think this is definitely where I stand on it, is that I like having more options of entertainment, AI included. I do not like having to find out if what I'm watching is entertainment or real. There are times where I want to use a platform to find out real information and or not real information. Okay. And, kind of like a library, I want to know where the fiction and nonfiction section is.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same thing when it comes to AI. I want to know in what I'm watching is AI or not.
Oh, so
up front. I'm not saying there aren't people that wouldn't lie about it. But I think as a standard, it would be nice to know what I'm kind of sifting through.
It doesn't mean the information's bad, by the way. I think it's a presentation thing for me. Like if it's the same slop I think we're talking about, it doesn't matter if every point of it's a fact. It's the point like
right there. Yeah, it's not that the information's not there. It's not that the information isn't right. It's not that it's not credible. It's that it's just being presented in such a way that
let me put it this way. Yeah, I think I know what you're saying. So it's like, let's say I want to watch someone talk about someone doing something in NBA or something like that. When you hear a human talk about it, you can kind of pick up on whether or not they know or do not know. You can pick up on whether or not it's genuine information or not genuine information. You can kind of tell if they have to play it off or if they don't. Where with AI, it's always delivered as if it is factual.
I don't know if it's delivered as factual as it is just like very, I don't want to say punctual also. It's just very, I don't want to say robot. I mean, it's very, I don't know how to describe it.
I think robotic is almost a very good way to put it.
Because there's no emotion to it in a way.
Like I said, yeah. If you're speaking on someone's like, let's say their scoring record for NBA, a robot can only really look at it statistically. Where we have a bias. We root for somebody. We want there to be a winner.
Or there's certain details
we want someone
like
to be better.
That.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. So what was the beginning of that example, though? You said, like, high scores or something? Okay, so it doesn't matter if a robot's delivering the information or not. If a person has hit 110 yards, they've hit 110 yards. It doesn't matter if this person has a bias and says, it doesn't matter there because it's still a score nonetheless.
Yeah.
That is recorded. And both of them are going to take that recorded score and roll with it. So I don't quite see where you're getting at with that. Bias there.
No, what I'm getting at is the fact that the bias alone is what brings some of that emotion into play.
Yeah.
That a human would deliver, that a robot doesn't have a bias over.
Okay, so where is the bias in Tony Rogers hit the baseball 100 yards?
If you're a fan of, like, here, I think at least how I can
help interpret. Let me put it this way.
How can you present that
if you're
information
talking about the best hitter in baseball, you with a bias would portray someone to be better, even if their score is average. You would deliver you would deliver that context in a way of like you're rooting for the guy. You want him to make it. Mm-hmm. And there's something genuine in that, where it's like, yeah, you as a human, you would want someone in particular that you would vote for to make it.
I think when it comes down to it, really does come down to like the emotion of the emotion of the presentation.
Yeah, and AI,
AI, it's just this. I don't want to say it's not monotone, but it's very like robotic, like we talked about.
Yeah.
Whereas like even hell, you don't like the guy.
It's not monotone. It's mono mood.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
But like if there's a bias, there's gonna be that excitement, like you said. There's that biasy, and if you don't like the guy, there's also gonna be that biasy. So it's like you get that emotion, but it's the opposite.
And
there's still
for instance, when
I
watch Rock Feed on YouTube, that's one of the YouTube channels I like to watch. It's an interviewing channel. I enjoy hearing his input, not just the facts.
Yeah.
But his input along with the facts. He enjoys rock music.
That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about this whole AI and it not being the same and it not being as fun to listen to is that you're not getting somebody talking to you.
You're not comparing yourself to another human anymore. You're comparing yourself to a robot.
You're just getting information as it is information.
Yeah. Why are you comparing yourself to the robot, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like naturally with a human, you would compare your thoughts and opinions with another human's thoughts and opinions.
Okay.
So when it comes down to it, when I hear an interviewer like that and they give their opinions or whatever they talk about or they get excited over, it allows me to question within myself, am I excited over the same things as this guy?
This might be a stretch, but... Do you get upset when someone hands you a piece of paper with instructions on it instead of them not giving you the instructions?
Yeah, no, 100%. No, okay. I can go along with that.
All right.
No, yeah, because, like I said, there's a difference between being given tasks and okay, this is a great way to put this. I think video games actually display this very well.
Back to video games.
Is it as simple to give the player an objective or make them feel like the objective matters?
Could you give us a detail of that?
Yeah.
Well, an objective is plain and simple. It's a set of instructions.
I know what an objective is.
But,
like your main mission. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. But you feel more enticed to solve said objective when you feel an emotional attachment to the objective.
Well, wouldn't it be... Well, no, if you're playing a game, the point is to accomplish stuff. So, like, it wouldn't matter if it matters or not.
In the game, there might be 100,000 different objectives that you can do. What makes this objective worth doing over the others?
No, that's different. You said you can do an objective.
Yeah.
Or
It's different because you changed the context on your end.
Huh? No, you didn't say there was 100 objectives. You just said.
Yeah, but you said
There's
what if on your part. So when you what if'd it, it changed the objective.
Well, no, you were consistent. That was my point. Now you're changing it.
I'm not changing
Yes, you are.
anything. No.
You're all like there was one objective, and now you're all like now there's 100 objectives. Why? Is
Anyways,
I was gonna agree with you though.
That goalpost.
I was gonna
No,
agree with you.
that's what I'm saying though. Like
He's doing it.
ultimately,
I told you with the core, dude.
ultimately though, like with there being someone there that can necessarily challenge your ideals or thoughts or opinions, makes it more enticing to observe or watch or listen to. Where AI doesn't really challenge you in that way much as it just says this is it.
Wouldn't it just be the information that challenges you though? No.
No.
So, if you got something to chime in, I ain't got,
Oh, go for it. Go for
I
it.
ain't got nothing.
Well, we just drifted way off because the whole thing I was looking for and what I was talking about with the whole topic of everything sounding like super just AI now is I just wanted to see if I was crazy or if like maybe you guys are noticing the same stuff
I don't
too,
think,
like the same
I think
trends.
we all agree we don't like the AI slop. For
Well,
sure.
it's not about whether or not you like it, but does it seem like it's just encroaching too far now, where it seems like you can't get any real takes on anything or anybody's opinion more than you're just getting fed robotic information, whether it be teleprompter read or AI voice.
Well, that's what
Exactly.
I was asking about I was all like, do you guys care? I mean, not verbatim what I said earlier, but it was just all like, I wouldn't like it if every part of the video is 100% true, but it's an AI delivering it. You know what I mean?
Okay, the AI could deliver it fine, but it's like the same format for everything. Like I said,
I agree. Yeah.
Like I said, when it comes down to the end of a bullet point, when it comes down to the end of a section, and you see this in the AI shit, it seems like it gives you the three. Like there's three like adjectives, there's three descriptors, there's three something where it's like this, and this. And it's like, I mean, maybe it could just be people who are just overwriting, if you will, like trying too hard to make it sound like that MLA format or whatever the fuck they use.
I might need an example. If you could chime off it, I ain't got. I mean, I know the AI slap, but the bulletin thing, that's just I don't.
Like I said,
yeah, that's a
I
hard
really
one for me
do
to
feel like
explain.
we're on the
You're
same
cool.
page. We're kind of coming at it in
I
two
thought we
different
were
angles.
still. Yeah.
No, it's. I think the best way I can explain it is look at music, the way the music industry is typically, and you have things like what are considered hit songs. Do you think there's a perfect formula for a hit song?
Personally, or on average.
Personally,
I don't think there's a perfect formula because I'll listen to stuff from like Stairway to Heaven all the way to like new stuff. But also, I can't deny the fact that the biggest hits that are on the radio through pop are wrote by the same couple producers that use the same exact formula.
Yeah.
So also, I can't deny the fact that...
but at the end of the day, that's not all you want to listen to. You know, that's why underground artists usually end up making a bigger name for themselves in that limelight.
That's why it's subjective, though, music.
Are you the one that told me about SR-71?
Yes.
Yeah, it's same concept. The SR-71 Bowling for Soup crap. That is the formula. They found it and it sounded good. These guys found it and said it sounded good, so they kind of projected it. And they were able to like combine all the formulas that worked well in their album, I guess maybe. But I mean, that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah,
it's like that's your formula right there because it was a great song. And then somebody who happened to have a little more money and a little more reach took that formula and used it, and because they had the better traction, it was able to succeed further because it was catchy.
Exactly,
I mean,
but it wasn't a constant.
Everybody loved that
because
song.
if
Yeah.
It was
every
popular.
artist, because if every artist sounded like that, though, not even Bowling for Soup would have been able to get away with it.
I mean, well,
Because every artist would have sounded
No,
like it.
that's the thing. Like every era, pick your genre. It doesn't matter. Just like when the era blows up with that genre, once you get like your first, let's say Nirvana, you get 20 more Nirvanas after that, and then no one wants to listen to them. They want to listen. Like the same thing with like the newer bands. I was just good. No, it's just all kind of all subjective. I think I'm an outlier with a lot of this with the music stuff. So I don't know. If
Well,
I can really give.
the point I'm getting at with it is in tune with what we're talking about with the AI slop. Is that when everything starts sounding the same, there's no character anymore. It becomes unappealing. Like, if I already know the next thing I hear is going to sound like the last thing I heard, why even watch the next thing I hear? You know, or he listened to the next thing I hear, you know. It gets to that point where it's like, oh, well, if it's just going to mean nothing at all, then it's just going to mean nothing.
Well, I was just going to say, hopefully it adds on to, I was just going to say, that's another lost art. Like listening to full-length albums. Like a lot of people don't do it. That's one of those things. If you pop on a pop art, here's a good example. Beyonce, she did a country album. And yeah, that's quote-unquote country album. I couldn't stand the singles or whatever, the stuff that was wrote, but I jammed the album because like I'm not interested in hating on it unless I'm gonna listen to the full thing.
Yeah.
And I listened to it a couple times, and I found 2 songs that were kind of buried in the album, and I was like, these are just good songs. They're not country, but they are just good 100%.
Songs. I've been on my Apple Music, I've been downloading a lot of full albums myself of artists, and even albums of artists I already known, but I just haven't listened to the whole album of a particular song or whatever. Sure. And one of the fun things is like every now and then, one of those little off-the-wall songs comes playing, and I'm like, oh, I do kind of like that.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have given it a chance comparing it to the other songs.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I said, it's the uniqueness of it that makes it appealing. Where, when it comes to AI Slop, there's not really much uniqueness as much as there's kind of like obvious points.
Okay.
Like don't get me wrong, I think AI is very, very cool. It's smart in certain useful, ways. Yeah, but I think there's a certain aspect of it where AI doesn't necessarily know how to narrow down on a subject. And knows how to give you a broad answer for both sides, but it's not good at taking a side. Well, and I want something to take a side.
I don't, not always. It depends on what we're talking about. I was just going to say, if anything, to fix it, the best thing is your algorithm. Work on that.
Okay. Wait, right there. What does that mean? Okay. Work on your algorithm.
So the more you watch and engage with something, literally commenting, liking, even disliking, everything you do with that video. If you see subscribing, if you keep watching those videos, eventually you might run out of those.
Oh well, yeah. Like I said, I stopped watching them.
Yeah.
The issue is that I like them at first, and then the more I listen to them, the more it's like, okay. You're doing that same shit. Yeah.
So I was just gonna say, that wasn't my only point, and also I was just going to say, there also gets to a point in a culture where people get sick of that. So right now, since AI is popping off, you can do almost anything with content-wise with AI and not show your face, and most people don't want to show their face.
Yeah.
So this is the easiest, simplest thing to do, and you can just pump out content nonstop. So eventually it will get to a point, like, it sucks right now, but it just happens. It's just, there's a pendulum where you get sick of this stuff, and then the next biggest thing is going to be something that some dude in his basement or something. It's just how it works, you know? So same with bringing it back to music. There was at one point, people probably don't remember, rock was the biggest thing. Growing up, I grew up around like hip hop, and I was just thinking, my whole thought was, there's no way this is not going to be the biggest thing forever. And then now that I'm older, not long ago, there wasn't even like a hip hop song on the Billboard 40. And that's crazy to think about. Listen, know what I thought hip hop was as a kid. Like, I didn't think I'd ever see the day. And then just like rock comes back around, like deathcore. Leona Shore blew up. That was the thing that everyone was getting on. So, Falling in Reverse. It's incredible. Me personally, like country.
Me personally, growing up, I had a little bit more of an optimistic view of music, I think, and like the longevity of it. Okay. Because I think of things like Beethoven, Mozart, and all of them, and their music is still around and played to this day. It's not considered Billboard Top 100, but it's outlived most songs that I know.
Yeah. Do you know any other composers besides them?
Other composers?
Yeah. And like famous songs.
Are you talking about just particularly orchestral composers?
Stuff like that.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is one.
I mean, from back then.
Well, from back then, no.
That's not a composer. Trans-Siberian Orchestra is a band.
Yeah.
I don't know who the composer of Evergreen Orchestra is.
It's not a big deal. My point
Yeah.
is like there could have been like thousands of them, but those were the guys that stuck out. And
Well,
like,
yeah,
I mean, I'm not
those are
disagreeing with you.
two commonplace answers
Yeah.
that I could put. I know there's others. I'm not so schooled in the knowledge all the way.
Oh, you're fine.
But that being said, it stands to reason that if you can play a song from 500 years ago and it's kicking ass in some respect, versus a song that you've played fucking 15 years ago that kind of is just like, eh.
You forgot.
Okay,
about,
well,
yeah.
there's a huge difference, and I would say between then and now, as opposed to like musical and stuff.
There is a huge
like
difference.
okay, back then they didn't have electric keyboards, they didn't have all that shit. They had full on pianos. It takes a lot of
That's what
money
makes
to
it more
build a
awesome,
piano.
by the way.
It takes a lot of money to build a piano. It takes a lot of money to make a good instrument.
No, so I agree with
And
that.
so the people who got big were few and far between, because it was a luxurious thing to be able to learn how to do music and stuff. So
That is true, but they were also still limited in another way too, where they didn't have such a range of scope like the internet on their side.
But no, that's what I'm getting at. That's the opposition here. The opposition is back then there are fewer people to have to remember because it's a luxurious thing, whereas now there's where there used to be 500 people to be able to choose from to do your shit. There's now 600 million. And
Well, see, like,
Oh yeah.
I think here,
and so of course you're going to remember those from back then because there wasn't very many to remember.
Maybe
But
closer to
if somebody the same distance and time away from us to them was going back and talking about people, they're probably not going to name a single name that any of us have ever heard of.
Yeah, but see, okay, so like, bringing it a little closer to home. For me, one of my favorite artists was Guns N' Roses. And their time period was just enough outside of our curve when it comes to the internet that their fame sparked before internet got as big as it did.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I enjoyed listening to them thanks to the internet. I really enjoyed their work. I really enjoyed what they did. There's not many bands I can say sound like Guns N' Roses. There's not many artists I can just say, hey, that's Guns N' Roses right there.
Well, there were around that time though. That's what I was talking about.
No,
like, the
not even then.
copycats.
No, even then, I didn't feel like there was any bands that sounded like them.
Okay.
Yeah, there was hair metal bands that played the same genre.
But see, a lot of people would say that those bands sound a lot similar, but you're saying differently because you have that bias that you was talking about
Yeah,
earlier
well, and they
towards Guns
stand
N'
out,
Roses.
Yeah, well, it's a standout. It's about their attitude. It's about their delivery. It's about their presentation, all of that. But at the end of the day, you know, like, I can't sit there and say, for instance, White Lion and Guns N' Roses sound alike. I just can't. They're in the same genre. They don't sound alike.
I mean, not necessarily them. I was just saying, there's still a lot of copycats, even if they don't pull it off like them.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's always going to be someone that kind of
Yeah,
either
well,
takes
that was my point,
influence or something like that. But that, once again,
You just never heard of them.
I think it's another example right there, though, is where like people have influences. AI does not.
Disagree.
AI is not influenced in that aspect. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't have a bias. It
I
doesn't
don't
have
think
an
it- I don't
already a
think-
characteristic that it likes or dislikes, much as it just presents both sides.
Not
Well, hold on. There's a way to word this. Hold on. I'm thinking.
not particularly. I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
I don't think there's. Yeah. It can't do anything. It's just. I look at it. That's like
AI can be
telling
prompted.
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's like telling an electric
Okay.
guitar.
Oh, okay. Wait. Okay. So the best way to break this down,
Yeah, go for
I
it.
broke it down way the other day when in political debates and stuff because people want to take screenshots of AI information
Yeah.
and then use that as if that is truth. But
It is though.
if you go look up, like if you go to the AI overview that you see them post from Google or something, when it starts generating that stuff and it cites its sources down at the bottom, what does it cite? CNN,
Yep.
Fox, MSNBC. It cites
It's
all these
known.
places that people claim are biased. Like, oh, don't listen to Fox News, they're biased. Don't listen to CNN, they're biased. They only care about. So
They are.
if the AI is pulling its information from a biased source, then the information itself is then going to be biased.
Yeah.
Well, and that I agree. That is the reason why I disagree with the way AI handles it, because it would be different if AI had its own bias against those biases.
Here's the problem.
You know, in different
Then it's
of
a
those
human.
biases.
Here's the problem.
Exactly.
The content
Exactly.
we're watching,
We want human product content, not AI slop.
the content we're watching, though, remember, all this AI slop is created by humans. It doesn't, like, create the content itself and then post it
Well,
itself.
no,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I mean, it's not automatically, like, uploaded and shit like that. No.
Yeah,
no.
these are all, like, humans.
Yeah, humans
preparing these videos.
are utilizing, but that's what I'm saying. They're utilizing it under the guise that it isn't just their opinion.
I see. I would have a fundamental disagreement there because if we're going back to this, if we're circling back, Jinsaki, back to the
Yeah.
back to
Callback,
the
as
conversation
they
there,
do.
right?
Yeah.
If we're circling back, what'd you say?
Oh, dude, I've lost track like
You
4
can't
times.
you
I'm not
can't
gonna lie.
circle me back and then ask me that.
Okay,
I already
okay.
forgot. I was ready to hear you.
Okay, well, the circle back for that
It was
is
about the AI, not wait. I told you I lost it, dude.
Yeah,
It's like 4 times.
okay,
It was
so
about AI. It was about AI, right? Can you remember?
the AI is not thinking for itself. Whatever the fuck. Okay, so
I guess here I'm gonna switch.
yeah, we're bouncing way around too much on that.
Yeah.
It's drifted so far away from the original like conversation. It's been deleted.